Here's the freelancer math that most people get wrong. The common assumption is that to make more money as a freelancer, you need more clients, more hours, or higher rates. And all three of those are true, but they all have a ceiling. More clients means more management. More hours means burnout. Higher rates mean longer sales cycles and more resistance. AI breaks that ceiling, not by replacing you, but by multiplying what you can deliver in the same amount of time you're already working. The freelancers I've watched use AI well aren't working more. They're doing the same hours, serving more clients at the same or higher rates, and banking the difference. Or they've built income streams that run while they sleep. 6 ways they're doing it. Let's get into it. This is AI for humans. Real tools, real results, no PhD required. Today's video is specifically for freelancers, writers, designers, editors, marketers, consultants, anyone who sells their skills and time directly. 6 ways AI is letting the smart ones make significantly more money without working significantly more hours. Let's go. Way number 1, produce client deliverables in half the time and keep the rate. The first and most immediate way AI makes freelancers more money isn't glamorous. It's pure arithmetic. If you charge $100 an hour and a project takes you 10 hours, you make $1,000. If the same project takes you 5 hours because AI handled the mechanical work, the first draft, the research sweep, the formatting, the revisions, you still make $1,000. But now you have 5 hours free for another client. That's not undercutting yourself. That's doubling your effective hourly rate. Here's what that looks like in practice. If you're a freelance writer, you've heard us talk about ChatGPT and Jasper multiple times on this channel, episodes 1 and 4 specifically. The point I want to make here isn't just that they write fast. It's that they handle the part of writing that takes the most time without producing the most value. Research organization, structural outlining, first draft scaffolding. The creative direction, the voice, the strategic angle, that's still you. You're spending your hours on the 20% of the work that commands the rate. The AI handles the other 80% that would have eaten your afternoon. Same principle applies regardless of your discipline. Designers using Canva AI reduce their graphic production time by 60 to 70% on standard deliverables. Video editors using Descript, which we covered in depth in episode 6, cut assembly time in half with transcript-based editing. The efficiency gain is real across every freelance category. The move is to protect your rate, shrink your hours, and use the reclaimed time to take on more work. Most freelancers who do this double their effective income within 90 days without changing what they charge. Way number 2, productize your service into packages AI can help you deliver at scale. Most freelancers sell time. The problem with selling time is that it's finite, it doesn't scale, and clients always want more of it than you have. The freelancers making the most money in 2026 have figured out a different model. They've productized their expertise, turned their service into a defined deliverable with a fixed scope, a fixed price, and a delivery process that AI makes fast and consistent. Here's a concrete example. A freelance copywriter who used to charge $500 for a custom email sequence now offers a productized package. 5 email welcome sequence, delivered in 3 business days, fixed at $750. The price went up because the scope is clear and the value is defined. The profit went up more because Jasper drafts the sequence in 20 minutes, and the writer spends 40 minutes editing and personalizing. A service that used to take 8 hours now takes an hour. They can run that package 4 or 5 times a week without breaking a sweat. This works for designers, brand identity packages with defined deliverables. It works for video editors, a defined reel format with a fixed turnaround. It works for consultants, a defined audit deliverable with an AI-assisted analysis framework underneath it. The key is that AI handles the production layer of your productized service, which means your capacity scales without your hours scaling with it. You've built something closer to a product business than a time for money business. ChatGPT is useful here in a way we haven't talked about before. Use it to help you design the package itself. Scope definition, pricing strategy, what's included and excluded, how to present it. Prompt it with your hourly rate, your typical project scope, and the type of client you serve, and ask it to design 3 productized packages at different price points. It's surprisingly good at this. Way number 3. Automate your client onboarding and communication. Here's a hidden cost most freelancers never calculate: the time you spend before the work even starts. Client calls, proposals, contracts, onboarding questionnaires, project briefings, follow-up emails. For a typical new client engagement, this pre-work takes 3 to 6 hours before a single billable minute begins. Multiply that across every new client in a month, and you're losing days. AI cuts this down dramatically, and the tools are simpler than you'd think. ChatGPT writes your proposals in 10 minutes. You paste in the client brief, your service scope, and your rate, and ask it to draft a proposal in your voice. You edit for accuracy and personalization, 15 minutes total versus the 2 hours most freelancers spend writing proposals from scratch. Zapier, which we've covered in episodes 1 and 4, automates the logistics. When a new client fills out your intake form, Zapier automatically sends them your welcome email, creates their project folder, adds them to your project management tool, and sets a follow-up reminder. You've touched nothing, it's all running. For the actual onboarding documents, the project brief template, the scope of work, the welcome packet, ChatGPT and Jasper create first drafts. You build the template once, AI personalizes it for each client, and your onboarding goes from scattered and manual to systematic and professional. The downstream effect of this matters beyond the time saving. Clients who experience a polished, fast, organized onboarding process perceive higher value from you before the work has started. That perception supports higher rates and faster payment. It's not just efficiency, it's positioning. Way number 4. Raise your rates and use AI to justify the increase. Most freelancers know they should be charging more. Most don't do it because they're not sure how to have the conversation, they're worried about losing clients, or they simply don't have the language to frame the increase confidently. This is one of the most underrated uses of AI for freelancers, and it has nothing to do with the work itself. Here's the approach. You use ChatGPT to help you build the case for a rate increase before you ever send the email. Prompt it with your current rate, your experience level, the results you've delivered for clients, your market, and the tools and capabilities you've added over the past year. Ask it to draft a rate increase email that's confident, professional, and framed around the value you deliver rather than your costs or your needs. The output won't be perfect on the first pass, but it gives you a structured argument to work from, and most freelancers find that having that structure removes the anxiety that was stopping them from sending the email at all. Then, and this is the part most people skip, use ChatGPT to run the objection scenarios. Tell it a client might push back that rates are too high, and ask it how to respond. Work through 3 or 4 objections until you feel prepared for the conversation. It's a negotiation rehearsal tool, and it costs nothing extra. Done well, one rate increase email to an existing client can add $500 to $2,000 a month to your income with no new work acquired. The AI investment to get there is 30 minutes of prompting. Way number 5. Create digital products that earn while you sleep. Everything we've talked about so far increases your active income, what you earn for hours worked. This one is different. This is about building passive income on top of your existing freelance business using the expertise you already have. The freelancers who figured this out are doing something straightforward. They take the systems, templates, and processes they've built to serve clients, the stuff they do every week without thinking about it, and they package it as a digital product that other freelancers or business owners will pay for. A freelance copywriter sells a swipe file of their highest performing email templates for $47. A graphic designer sells their Canva brand identity template pack for $67. A consultant sells their client audit framework as a downloadable PDF for $97. These aren't courses, they're not memberships. They're simple products built from work that already exists. AI makes building these products dramatically faster. ChatGPT helps you structure and write the product itself, organizing your templates, writing the instructional copy, creating the sales page. Canva Pro handles the design, the template layouts, the product cover graphics, the download packaging. 11 Labs, which we covered in full in episode 6, can turn your written product into an audio version in an afternoon, doubling the format options without doubling your work. The distribution is simple: Gumroad, Payhip, or a direct link on your website. No inventory, no fulfillment, no customer service beyond an FAQ. At $47 to $97 per product, selling 20 units a month, a modest number for a freelancer with an existing client base and a few pieces of content pointing to it, is $940 to $1,940 in monthly passive income layered on top of your active client work. That number doesn't require more hours. It requires one good product and a functional sales page. Way number 6. Serve more clients without more hours using AI as your back office. The ceiling on freelance income has always been time. There are only so many hours in a week, only so many clients you can serve at quality, and eventually you hit the wall. The freelancers breaking through that ceiling in 2026 are treating AI as a back office team. Not a tool they use occasionally, but a system they've built that runs underneath every client engagement. Here's what that back office actually looks like. ChatGPT handles all first draft communication, client emails, project updates, feedback responses. You review and personalize in 2 minutes instead of writing from scratch in 20. Jasper handles the content production layer of any client work that involves copy. Descript handles the editing layer of any work that involves audio or video. Canva handles the visual production layer. Zapier connects all the logistics: the intake, the delivery, the invoicing triggers, the follow-up sequences. When every one of those tools is configured and running, your effective capacity as a freelancer goes up by 40 to 60% without your working hours changing. That means, instead of comfortably managing 4 active clients, you can manage 6 or 7 at the same quality level. The math on that is significant. If your average client is worth $1,500 a month, going from 4 clients to 6 is an extra $3,000 a month. Going to 7 is an extra $4,500. The AI stack that enables that costs $150 to $200 a month. The freelancers who've built this system aren't special. They just built the system. And now it runs 6 ways. If you're new here, go watch episode 1 first. 7 AI tools that will save you 10 hours a week. That's the foundation. If this gave you something useful, hit subscribe. We drop new AI tool walkthroughs every week. All of them are this format: real tools, tested, no hype. See you in the next one.